half-hour journey up I-35 from Iowa City to Minneapolis. It's the Hawkeyes in possession of the most prized pig in college football. But it's the Golden Gophers who are determined to make him stay in the big city. You're watching the Big Ten on ESPN. TCF Bank Stadium here in Minneapolis for one of the great rivalries in college football as we play for Floyd of Rosedale. It's Iowa and Minnesota, also both desperate for a win to stay in the Big Ten West race. Beth Mowins, along with Anthony Becht and Rocky Boyman, a combined 20 years of experience playing in the National Football League. On this first crisp, cold fall day for college football with temperatures in the 40s here in Minnesota. They have split the last 6 meetings. Iowa winning at home last year, Minnesota winning big here 2 years ago. Iowa continues to buck tradition. They won the toss and they deferred, so Minnesota will receive. Back deep is Keontae Harden, who is back in uniform after sitting out a 3-game suspension for a violation of team rules. He's also back in the starting lineup in the Minnesota secondary as well. Underway for the Floyd of Rosedale. And this is Rodney Smith who will bring it out to the 25-yard line. And that's where the Golden Gophers will take over with Mitch Leidner. This is his 3rd start in a Floyd game. 2 years ago here, he had a monster day with 4 touchdowns in a Minnesota rout.
Yeah, at 6'4", he's a big guy behind the line of scrimmage. Arm strength, he can make all the throws for this offense, but he is a deceptive runner. He's going to pull that ball out on some of them read options and look to run some Iowa players over.
An interesting move for the Golden Gophers. They will start out with Kobe McCrary in the pistol. They have Rodney Smith and Shannon Brooks as well, all of whom have run for over 100 yards in a game this year in the incompletion to Brian Smith. Let's talk about Rodney and Shannon.
Well, I gave him a nickname. I'm going to call him Slash and Bash. First, number 1, Rodney Smith. This kid can find holes. He's got great vision and great lateral quickness. And then number 23, Shannon Brooks. This kid attracts contact. Reminds me of Marshawn Lynch. He goes and bounces off everyone. He can take it down and out all the way up the field. These kids are explosive.
This is the give to McCrary. Anthony, I think we're going to have to come up with a new nickname for him. He gets the start today. Is it Crash? Is it Thrash? He's another guy that has had a big day in uniform as we see Brooks now coming on.
Well, he's 235 pounds. He plays a ton also in this offense. It is a 3-headed monster, but the exciting, explosive plays will come by number 1 and number 23 today.
3rd and 8 situation. Hawkeye defense fighting for the early 3 and out. Wolotarski is the motion man. He's their top target. And looking for number 82, and Drew can't hang on out at the 36-yard line. It's 4th down and a stop early for the Hawkeyes. Desmond King, the All-American, had the coverage.
Yeah, Desmond King's one of the best corners in college football, and he's going to follow and track Wolotarski here, and he's just locked on him. Tight window throw for Leidner to make that pass. 3 and out. That's exactly what this Iowa defense needed.
And Desmond King is out to receive. Ryan Santoso, the junior out of Pace, Florida, averaging 42 yards per kick. 3 times this year he's knocked one for over 50 yards. And King will have a chance. It's a good block early, and he will bring it back out to the 40-yard line. 14 yards on the return after a 46-yard punt. And that will bring out C.J. Beathard. He got the start, got the win last year over Minnesota as he guided the Hawkeye offense to 6 scores in their first 7 possessions.
He commands the line of scrimmage. They give him flexibility in changing the plays and get him in the right situations. And he's a mobile passer. Look for him to get out of the pocket today, try to make some plays down the field, and with his tight ends in the play action game. And
after a week of hearing that the Hawkeyes wouldn't change a whole lot, try and do their thing, big changes on the front line in front of Beathard. The give is to LaShawn Daniels, and he's wrapped up right around the line of scrimmage. 3 different guys on the move up front, Anthony.
Well, the biggest thing is 64, Cole Crossan. He's going to go from the left tackle to the right tackle. Ike Bacher is going to bump from the right tackle to the left guard, and then Boone Myers is going to just bounce out to the left side. He's got some experience playing there from last season, but definitely shakes up the running game as far as how their blocking and responsibilities will be today.
It's been a struggle for the running game. Total offensive numbers nowhere near what they have come to expect, and a big hit in the backfield. Steven Richardson blew right through that revamped line.
This kid is explosive. Now, it says 6 foot, but he's about 5'10". He's a ball of energy. He gets in the backfield, quickness and speed. He's going to be a big playmaker today.
And guys, blood in the water. That's what Minnesota's defense senses right now. Last week, Iowa's offense gave up 6 sacks. Colston gave up 4. They may attack Colston right here. See if mentally he has put last week's game behind him.
Yeah, and they're going to come with this dime package on defense. 2 stand-up ends, number 20 on the outside, Huff. Also, number 49, Martin, will try to bring pressure against this offense.
Slings it down to the 34-yard line. The catch is made about a foot shy to Jermanique Smith. It's going to be 4th down.
And you really want to disrupt the players, and right now it looks like they're going to get up to the line quickly on 4th down.
Beathard will keep, and he'll dive forward for the 1st down.
Quarterback sneak here, good momentum change, get up to the line. They were obviously prepared for this play. Beth, you never know when it's going to come up, but there was a decisive decision by Coach Ferentz to do that early on.
Yes, LaShawn Daniels back into the game at tailback. He was huge last year in a win over Minnesota. 195 yards rushing and 3 touchdowns. In a 40-35 win, and he will get the call. Lynn with the tackle at the 30, Rocky.
Beth, another Minnesota player making somewhat of a debut tonight is Keontae Harden, the cornerback. He hasn't played since Indiana State. It's been about 3 weeks. It's going to be interesting. I always felt as a player who was out with some time with an injury, when I came back, that my timing was off. My timing, my pass run recognition, timing and my pass route recognition. It's going to be interesting to see if he's a little rusty out there.
Returning from the 3-game suspension to step right back into the lineup. Flags on the play, and it's going to be a false start against Iowa.
False start. Offense, number 86. 5-yard penalty, 2nd down.
Kittle's 46, the tight end, and this has been part of the problem for this team. You know, they get 1st and 2nd down, they get pushed back behind the sticks. Really not something you want to get into the football game and start off with.
13 penalties the last 2 weeks. Very uncharacteristic for Iowa. 2nd and 12. Beathard, good protection. Incomplete, broken up at the 25-yard line. Almost picked by Jalen Myrick.
Jalen Myrick is their best cover corner in this football team. Been a little inconsistent in their deep end passing. They've given up a lot of deep ball passes the last couple of weeks. They've got to hunker down. Iowa does not have the type of receivers to run those kind of routes. This is exactly though where they want them to be. Here comes that dime package, the 2 stand-up ends on the outside. Let's see if they sugar the linebackers right here in the middle of the field for these 2 players right here to bring some disruption to Beathard's face.
That's Lynn and Celestine wiggling their way back up to the line. Beathard drops it off from Mitchell and wrapped up immediately by Lynn. Picked up a yard. That's it. 4th down.
Well, I'll tell you what, the protection's outstanding, and this is what he's not used to, getting the extra time. And watch this, he's going to feel a ghost. He's running out of the pocket for no reason. If he stands in there, he can deliver an accurate pass down the field. He's got to roll out now, and he gets his body contorted in a way that just doesn't give him the accuracy he needs.
This is Ron Caluzzi, the punter, who is taking over the kicking duties here from 50 yards away. And it is short. That is actually Miguel Racinos who came on. Keith Duncan is their usual kicker, but only had a couple of attempts on the season, so they go to Racinos, and that is well short. Shannon Brooks, he's going to get the call. This is Bash, and there you see why. He just ran right over Miles Taylor.
Listen, I'm going to tell you, and I'm going to warn you, I know the players can't hear me now. You better find out where this guy is, and don't try to attack him square right there. Miles Taylor just got a little wake-up call, and you see Josie Jewell there getting his helmet tightened up. Be ready for this kid. He will lay a punch.
Approaching 200 yards rushing on the season for Shannon, who missed the first couple of games, returning from a foot injury. Quarterback keeper, and wrapped up by Nathan Bujita. Brooks working out of the pistol. He'll get the call. Big hole off the left side. Punches it out across the 30 to the 32. Neiman and Taylor were there with the tackle, and a pickup of 11, but well short again, and the punting unit will come on.
And these running backs don't need big holes. And when you're getting those opportunities to run through them, Beth, you can't get yourself pushed back with silly penalties, and that series right there cost Minnesota after a huge turnover by their defense.
Desmond King had a nice return the last time he got his hands on it. Will Santoso punt it to him again? Again, they try and steer him to the sideline, and this time they'll wrap him up after the short gain. With 2 tight ends in the ball game, Wadley tripped up after a 1-yard gain by Jonathan Celestine. As we told you earlier, it is a revamped offensive line, as Kirk Ferentz, always known for strong offensive linemen and sending guys off to the NFL. 3 starters have switched spots today.
Just trying to get something going. I mean, when you have something for the last couple weeks, it becomes who you are. And apparently they haven't been able to fix that. So they got to get some guys in some different spots.
They'll run it left again with Wadley. Out to midfield.
And Anthony, you mentioned some things Iowa's got to do better. For C.J. Beathard, the theme is this: 1-2 run, meaning if his first option isn't there, second option isn't there, Coach Davis wants him to either throw the ball to the check down or run it. C.J. is a very cerebral quarterback. He tends to overthink things. With this kind of methodology, 1-2 run, it simplifies things for the quarterback.
And there now comes that 3rd down pressure where they're going to try to get him off that 1-2 quickly. See if Minnesota can get in his face here with some pressure.
Beathard slings it quickly out to the perimeter and down inside the 40 for a first down to Jay Shield.
Yeah, Harden was on the coverage on the outside. It's a quick pass, though. That pressure's coming. He feels it. They have a quick route on the outside, a hitch. Everybody gets sucked into the inside, and honestly, when you watch their film, Beth, it's a lot of quick hitches, a lot of short routes. Yeah. They can't really attack too much down the field, 1, because of the time, and 2, because of the receiver play.
Final 15 seconds of this first quarter with Floyd of Rosedale matchup. And a big gainer for Daniels as he breaks free and tripped up down inside the 10. Celestine saved the touchdown. as Daniels finds the seam and picks up 31.
This is the outside zone. Watch how everybody's in sync. You get up to the second level. Nice block by 79 Welsh. He's their best, most consistent offensive lineman, and Daniels is good enough to get it up in that hole.
The defense has ruled the day thus far on both sides, but Iowa trying to change that as we get set to head to the second quarter. It's a party for the Pig today in Minneapolis. The Hawkeyes have been terrific down in the red zone this season. 15 touchdowns on 18 trips. This is Daniels. His big 31-yard burst to end the first quarter is what set them up down deep.
And early on, the offensive line, the movements, and everyone they've changed looks to be working pretty well for them as they've been effective in pass protection and in run blocking.
44 yards rushing through the first quarter for Iowa. They'll stick with Daniels behind Drake Kulik, the fullback. Daniels slammed at the line, falling forward to about the 3, met in the hole by Jonathan Celestine, and it's 3rd and goal.
Celestine is more of that downhill back. Again, this would be huge momentum change here. Got to try to find a way to keep them out of the end zone. They got their big guys. Everybody's going to be packed in the box. Watch for a little play action, moving out to the right side, trying to get to their bunch set at the top of the screen.
Shield, McCarron, and Smith, your trips right. And picks up the low snap, fires, broken up in the end zone by Travis. Looking for Riley McCarron, and it's 4th down.
Travis, to me, is their best player on this defense. And this is a nice job. He doesn't get his head around, but he's watching the eyes of the receiver. When his hands go up, that's when he knows it's time to get his hands up. And again, get some hits on the quarterback on the outside. Myrick getting involved on the outside edge. Nice job by Minnesota holding them to a field goal opportunity.
Iowa will go back to their other kicker here, Keith Duncan. He's 2 for 2 on the year. This is a 22-yarder, and it is good. The 10-play scoring drive. They cap it off with the field goal. 3-0 Hawkeyes. This is going to be Keontae Harden who will bring it out of the end zone for Minnesota. Gets a nice block by Rodney Smith, and he'll get out to the 35. Fifth-year senior out of Lakeville, Minnesota. He's their career completion percentage leader. And playing and starting in his 3rd Floyd of Rosedale game. On the boot, couple of completions back-to-back. This one to the big tight end, Nate Wozniak at 6'10", goes for 9 yards.
2 plays in a row. Great recognition by Mitch Leidner. Play before he saw his wide receiver, Drew Wolotarski, lined up man-to-man on Bo Bauer, a linebacker. That's a mismatch. Second play, then a 6'10" tight end matched up on Bo Bauer. Good job of recognition by Matt Leidner.
Well, Leidner, we heard from the coaches talk about how resilient he is, how he loves the responsibilities. And Rocky, you love the story of Mitch and his dad, Jeff, who helped toughen this fella up and make him ready to be a Minnesota quarterback.
Well, look, Beth, when your dad is in the concrete business for 28 years, you have no choice but to be tough. You spend your summers laying brick and hauling concrete. That's one way to toughen yourself up. And it was so nice yesterday talking with Mitch, saying how much that really just shaped his development early on.
Trying to fight through some tough moments in the first half for the Golden Gophers. Drive that started out back inside their own 5. Leidner all day to look, and he finds his man, and for the first time they are in Iowa territory. 15-yard strike to Brian Smith.
Yeah, Brian Smith gets on top of coverage on a crossing route, and he fits it in nice and easy right over the top of the linebacker sitting underneath, and gets a big play down the field. Nice job how he tucks it. One thing I haven't seen out of Mitch Leidner is that touch pass. Nice job floating it over the linebackers on that pass.
Leidner for Wolotarski, and coming back to break it up at the last moment. And number 26, Kevin Ward.
He's got a home run here, Beth. He misses this one. If he leads Wolotarski on the outside, he's got a touchdown. He underthrows it and gives number 26 Ward an opportunity to poke it out. And he knows it. He missed it on that one.
Wolotarski, their leading receiver, 24 catches through their first 4 games. He's got 1 so far today. They'll try for Smith out on the perimeter. This drive, as opposed to the first 5 times they had it, much better for Leidner and the Gopher offense. Final 2 minutes of this first half. Shutout so far, and an interception. It is picked off. And the Hawkeyes have their second takeaway. Manny Rugumba with the pick. A chance now instead for Iowa to try and get some points heading into the locker room. The takeaway for the Hawkeye D. Minnesota averaging 36 points per game, and Iowa has shut them out here in the first half, and now trying to grab some more points with 1:44 to go. The draw. Wadley out to the 47. Iowa has all 3 of its timeouts.
Wadley's a back. He's elusive and quick, but he's small. He can find those small cracks in the offensive line and can squirt through right there. Big pressure up by the defensive line, but they run themselves out of the play. Creates huge holes for this offensive line.
Not appearing to be in any hurry right now. The clock continues to wind down. Beathard to Kittle. First down to move the chains, but a flag is down back at the line of scrimmage.
And this just punishes you as an offense. In an opportunity, you got good field position, you just make a catch.
Personal foul, chop block, offense. Number 25 and number 52. 15-yard penalty. Repeat, second down.
That's Wadley and Myers.
Yeah, when you're engaging a blocker, number 52 will be engaged with the end. Wadley has to understand, actually it was 75. He misspoke there. Botker. When you're engaged with the defensive end and you try to chop him while he's engaged, that's a penalty. And just like that, Beth, you're pushed back, 2nd and long. You had something going. All of a sudden, that might change your mindset right now, what you're doing. And they're taking their time.
I was going to say, are you surprised that they weren't, even before that last play, they weren't in more of a rush? Iowa. Dumping it off to Wadley. Wrapped up immediately by Hendrick Ekpe.
If they had gotten that clean and that catch was good on the last play without the penalty, you would have saw some hurry up and they would have been able to utilize some of those timeouts. But right now, they're probably going to take them in-house with them.
Why not Minnesota right now with a timeout?
At 3rd and 22, yeah, why not take a chance? But we did, and we also, we talked to Tracy Clay saying he likes to take chances right before the half. This would have been a nice time for him to call a timeout at 3rd and 22. Might be kicking himself in this situation.
Some clock management questions. And both sides seem to be content with a 3-point game. The Hawkeyes will get it to start out the second half. Now to the Dave & Buster's halftime report with Chris, Butch, and Jonathan. 3rd and 4th quarter to go, and a 3-0 lead for Iowa over Minnesota. Beth Mullins along with Anthony Becht and Rocky Boyman. We talked at the top, Anthony, the run game for Minnesota, the run defense for Iowa, and it's been the Hawkeyes so far winning that battle.
Iowa's defense has basically shut down Minnesota for the entire first half, outside of that last series where they were able to hold them to no points. So right now, Minnesota has to find a way to get the passing game going and get some balance with that running attack. They're making a lot of mistakes, though. Both teams are in the offensive side with penalties that are really hurting them and challenging them.
And perhaps it will also come down to which experienced senior quarterback can grab hold of the reins here and get their team to the finish line. Loser of this one in grave danger of falling out of the race in the Big Ten West, and a fumble on the kickoff. And it looks like Iowa was able to make the dash to get it back or knock it out.
Turnovers. Ball's been on the ground early with running backs. A lot of players. You got to tuck that ball away. See, it gets loose away from his body. Nice job by Barber, number 41, knocking it out. And an opportunity missed, not getting on that ball and bouncing on it.
Boy, that bounce on the numbers. All that space left for the Gophers, and they couldn't grab it. LaShawn Daniels is in at tailback to start out this third quarter. And it's McCarron with a blocker in front of him. McCarron pulling the defender out to midfield. It was the tight end, George Kittle, clearing a path, and a gain of 21.
Look at the space here in the cushion. This is an easy catch and throw. You get the tight end out there. He's waiting for the defensive back to attack him. That's easy yardage right now for the offense. You continue to do that until those DBs start pressing up and getting tighter.
Longest pass play of the day for C.J. Beathard. They'll go play action. Beathard will keep. C.J. Beathard takes it down inside the 30, and another first down, Iowa. 12 yards on that run.
And Rocky talked about it earlier. If 1-2's not there, tuck the ball and run. He sees a seam there. Wadley sees him run, gets a block out in front. That's important in this football game, and it's a big play for them.
And Anthony, that's a throw that last week I think CJ would have tried to fit in there, but Germanique Smith was covered like a blanket by Antoine Winfield. Great job of just tucking the ball and taking what the defense gives you.
Wadley, nice spin. Down to the 14-yard line. And they'll move the chains again. 14 yards on the run. Best drive of the day for Iowa.
Centers, guards, Daniels knocking guys out. They're getting in between the guards and running right down the throat of this Minnesota defense, who hasn't been able to stop those inside runs early in this second half.
Down in the red zone again. The last time they had to settle for 3. Wadley, broken arm tackle in the backfield, and then wrapped up. Jack Lynn was there right around the line of scrimmage.
Get down tight in this red zone, Beth. Some players to keep your eye on as far as targets is number 46, the tight end, Kittles. They get down in this range, whether it's a corner route, crossing route, a little play action, getting him in the vision and eyes of the quarterback. Be a tough matchup for this defense to stop as this running game continues to get big yards.
They'll line up on the left side of the line, inside Noah Fant. Beathard looking that way. It's Fant at the 10. And it will be third down and about 7.
A double tight end look. They worked the left side, which is the 2 tight end set. Had a double in route by both players. Weren't able to get the top end route, which was Kittles. Now they're in a situation, do you try to get one through into the end zone? They're going to have to if they want to score points. Got to be smart here. If you force it, you could potentially get yourself in trouble.
Beathard looking for Smith, back shoulder. Did he get a foot down? The official says no.
I'd like to see that one again, Beth.
Field Judge Al Terry waved it wide.
Well, it looks like his toe is on that white. So nice job of the throw backside. See that toe? Yeah, that's close. Even if they do look at it, not going to be enough information, but tight quarters call for that referee right there.
They are going to go for the field goal here on 4th down. A 28-yarder for Keith Duncan. He has hit from 22 earlier today. And that one is good. 6-0 Hawkeyes. They open up with points here in the third. 6-0 Iowa, and since this is a big rivalry game, we asked the fans earlier, is there anything nice that you can say about your opponents today?
That's a pretty short list, and just to be polite, I'm just going to keep my mouth shut.
Nothing.
Nothing.
I'm going to ask them how they're out right now because no one's babysitting the cows.
They're kind of irrelevant to us, you know. We kind of got rivalries with Nebraska and Iowa State, not them, so we don't know why they hate us.
I don't really have one. Maybe they show up.
Yet to be determined. We'll see.
Does that work? Corn? They're not Badgers.
Their color looks like wine. You know, it's one of those rivalries. We want Floyd back. He's ours. We got to get the bacon.
Oh, they had the bacon here 2 years ago, but for the last 365 days, it's been down in Iowa City, the Floyd of Rosedale Trophy. And it's 6-0 Iowa after a 10-play scoring drive, a second field goal of the day. And here's the return from Rodney Smith, getting it out across the 40. Rocky.
Yeah, one of my favorite sayings all week about this rivalry was when we talked to Mitch Leidner. He said, Iowa is considered a 4-letter word around here. They don't even like to mention it.
He said he was out there on the field for the Oregon State game, the season opener, and already he could hear the Minnesota student section starting to chant, "We hate Iowa." It's big to these guys. So many Gophers from the state of Minnesota, so many Hawkeyes, of course, proud to wear that Iowa jersey. And can Leidner make something happen after his counterpart, C.J. Beathard, drove Iowa down the field for 3?
It's a good time right now for him to step up his game and be that leader that he told us he is, and the guy that shows the grit and the tough and the determination. Today, he's not had a great day. 4 for 12, tight quarter throws, made a poor decision on the interception. Had a nice drive there right before the half, but still not sharp enough for this team to have any fluency on offense.
Only 5 first downs. They've turned it over twice, just over 100 yards of total offense. And Rodney Smith will get them across midfield, where they have only run 3 plays today in Iowa territory, and they've got a 3rd down and 1 coming up here.
You can do multiple things on this play. You could run this, you could get it out, but whatever he does, he's got to find the open man, get it to him accurately, and move the sticks. You cannot waste this field position off that return by Rodney Smith and punt it away.
They're going to give it to Bash here, and Brooks has the first down right up the gut and down to the 41-yard line. Ben Neiman with the stop and a gain of 8.
And he is a violent running back. He looks for contact, but he can find holes and get up the field. He's got some really long runs, Beth, this season with his football team.
And one thing I know about Shannon Brooks, Anthony, is his legs never stop on contact. Even some of the best running backs in college and pro football, first contact, they'll stop. Shannon Brooks' legs just keep on churning.
With Brooks in motion, the fake, and the completion. Brian Smith down to the 20-yard line. 22 yards on that hookup.
Brian Smith, first-year starter as a redshirt junior. Good in traffic, runs good intermediate routes, but he's at 6'4". He's a very good target with nice hands, and you see there the spark they need in the second half. So far, sharp for Leidner.
Smith and Wolotarski go to the left. It's Shannon Brooks, the lone setback. Brooks tries to get to the edge, turned back inside by Bo Bauer, staying on his feet, fighting for an extra yard. Give him 3 on the carry. Slash and Bash, by the way, a combined 15 carries for 77 yards.
And we're waiting for that big break run, right, Beth? That's what makes the difference. These two guys will churn yards out, but then they'll hit those big hitters, and that's where you start seeing the big yards come in.
Here's a look at their totals as they will go back to Rodney Smith here. On 2nd and 7. Leidner, he's going to keep it. Bumped out by Mabin around the 12-yard line. 3rd down, they need to get down to the 10.
And Mitch is really good at that read option, pulling the ball, and you'll see a little more heavy dose of that as they get from the 10-yard line in. Again, this is another opportunity where they could actually run the same play to the left because of the fact they have multiple options to do it.
They'll stay with Smith. Give it to Rodney. Tried to burrow his way down to the 10. And they're going to give him the spot. So both guys pick up a key third down conversion on the drive, and just inside the 10-yard line, first and goal, Gophers.
And on that handoff, they had an open space for the quarterback to keep it and go outside. Look to see if they maybe try it again to the left-hand side. It's the same formation as the last play.
Brooks running to the short side, powering his way through a tackler and in. Touchdown, Minnesota, at an extra point away from the lead.
Exactly what the doctor ordered up right there. Running the ball, some passing, nice balance, and most critical is no mistakes.
Minnesota grabs the lead. An impressive opening drive in the third.
Well, there's a reason why. I see the big uglies pulling around, center and guard leading the way, and you better not try to tackle Shannon Brooks high. Result, touchdown.
Slash and bash, Smith and Brooks getting it done, especially on that drive, Rocky.
Yeah, and Beth, on that drive, the key was we started to finally see Minnesota offensive linemen getting to the second level. Both Bo Bauer and Josie Jewell were blocked on that play, plus some secondary players. That's going to be key to keep that run game going here the rest of this game.
Remember what they told us yesterday, the coaching staff, if we can get our guys, our backs isolated in the secondary on a DB, we think we're going to win those battles. And Brooks just won one against Greg Maben down on the 3-yard line to get into the end zone to grab the lead. Desmond King leaping out to the 25. Because they're already without Jonathan Stewart, too. LaShawn Daniels, senior out of Warren, Ohio, is behind Beathard. He gets a block to help his quarterback out. Bobbled and juggled and caught by Kittle out at the 24. And he either took a stinger or he's got a shoulder pad issue right now. And
yeah, he had to extend his arms here. Watch this one-handed catch. Concentration, pulling it in. I don't know where he actually got hurt there. I think it was just a shoulder pad issue.
Stays in the game on the left side of the line. Beathard to McCarron. Out across the 30 and a first down, Iowa.
Guys, I don't know about you, but I'm a little surprised Iowa not doing much tempo on offense. Last week versus Northwestern in the second quarter, they went a little more up-tempo, and I thought their offense really gelled. They even talked about possibly doing it in this game. I think if they did, it would help maybe get this offense in rhythm and also keep that defense on their heels a bit.
I think that one of the most important things off of that, Rocky, is just keep moving the chains. They got to find ways to get this offense, whether it's tempo or making some blocks and getting big yards.
Kittle continues to fight through some pain. This is Daniels. First down, Iowa here in this final minute of the third quarter and a gain of 11.
So Kittles is still kind of fiddling with his shoulder pad, shoulder area, but I'll tell you, LaShawn Daniels, he's gotten through the line of scrimmage several times, and I almost thought he was going to break a couple of these runs. He's getting very close for another big run to come his way.
58 yards rushing for Daniels, 43 today for Wadley, and it's back to Wadley here. Play action. Beathard chased. Beathard chucks out of bounds.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, there was big-time pressure up the middle. There had to be a hold on that play. Referees right in front of their face missed that. Watch number 78 here. The blitzer coming through. Look at that arm. I mean, that is a blatant obvious hold. Remember, you got two referees on either side back there. Both of those guys missed that. Another could have been a huge self-inflicted wound. Very fortunate there for Iowa.
Mitchell, who we usually see on third down, is the offset back here on second. Receiver screen, McCarron bobbled, and it was almost picked.
They tried to run a tunnel screen on the outside, and McCarron's been juggling balls all day today. He had one on the outside. On tunnel screen, you're coming back to all the danger, and when that ball starts banging up in the air, that's a problem. Defense got to come up with that opportunity. Another chance for Minnesota left on the field.
So now it's 3rd down and 10 for C.J. Beathard. And the Iowa offense, 10 seconds to go in the 3rd. They're down a point. Against a 4-man rush. He's got time. He's got Kittle at midfield, surging towards the line to gain. And he got 9 yards the spot. Looking a bit shy. We're going to have a measurement as the 3rd quarter comes to a close. We'll be back. The offense is starting to come alive in the 3rd, and it's 7-6 Minnesota. Back here in Minneapolis as we head to the 4th, 7-6 Minnesota with the lead over Iowa. 15 minutes to play for the Floyd of Rosedale. 4th down and 1 for Iowa just across midfield. Down a point as we start the 4th. Paluzzi's punt is away. Myrick will let it bounce, and the Hawkeyes are able to down it around the 12. Just underway in the 4th, the Floyd of Rosedale on the line. Minnesota up a point. Early 4th quarter, Minnesota with the ball and the lead. And they've got Slash and Bash in the backfield, Smith and Brooks. And this is Smith taking the handoff from Mitch Leidner after he went 4 for 12 in the first half, Anthony. 3 for 3 so far in the second.
Well, that's what they needed. They needed him to step up and be sharper. And credit Iowa's defense for what they did in the first half. But looks like he's starting to catch fire a little bit. He has to continue that trend. I think the biggest thing with him is staying in a groove. They've been able to get that early on in the, coming out of halftime. See if they can keep going with that.
Leidner into the flat, caught by Wolotarski. Pulls Maben out to the 20-yard line. Been a lot of comparisons with Leidner and Ben Roethlisberger. Same kind of frame, big guy, likes to run with it.
Just need the stats to come up a little bit to make that. Yeah. But you're right, he is a big guy, and he likes to run the ball, and he can extend plays. Haven't had really the opportunity to get out the pocket today and do some things. His nice throw was a comeback out of the pocket, but just him extending the play on his own outside of a design play.
4 for 10 on 3rd downs. Incomplete. And the Iowa defense is there looking for Wolotarski. The Hawkeyes quickly get Leidner off the field.
And distributing the ball to other guys, too, I think is important. You know, Wolotarski's a guy that he's continued to look at and go for. There could be some other guys he's got to maybe try to get the ball to just keep it honest. They start dialing in on defense on Wolotarski. That could be an issue.
Santoso from his own 5. Is this a Desmond King moment right here for Iowa? Back to receive around the 35. Back out to about the 43-yard line, but we had a flag back at the line of scrimmage. 8 yards on the return of a 45-yard kick.
Illegal formation. 5 men in the backfield by the kicking team. That 5-yard penalty will be assessed at the succeeding spot. 1st down.
So a short field for C.J. Beathard and the Hawkeyes to work with, trailing here in the 4th. That was in Iowa City on Thursday, where Floyd has been living for the last year. And he has made an appearance. He is now out on the Iowa sideline. 98 pounds, 15 inches high, 21 inches long, solid browns. It's a heavy pickup. but it's what all the Golden Gophers and the Hawkeyes want to do post-game. Beathard on the rollout. He had Harden coming right at him, giving CJ zero time to look.
Good angle by Harden to go up the field. Sometimes you come flat off the edge. He stays high, and he's right in the vision and where that release is of CJ Beathard.
Boy, for a secondary that's been maligned, the worst pass defense in the league this year, the return of Harden and elevating Antoine Winfield into a starting spot has made a huge difference for them today. Just 128 yards passing for Beathard. He's back again, hit, incomplete. Third down and long. It was one of the Ekpe boys. Hendrick was in there to corral him.
Pressure on the top of your screen. And again, when you're on the edge, the problem has been a tackle. And the biggest thing is sitting down and taking on that bull rush right there. Just too big, too strong to stop that bull rush by the defensive end. Goes right in the lap of the quarterback.
Four-man rush. Beathard caught for the first down to the tight end, George Kittle. 15 yards on that link.
That's a heck of a job by Kittle. That was all him. He runs a good route, and you got to make somebody miss, Beth. You got to be able to get the ball in your hands and get some yak. He catches it short of the first down. Watch him dip under number 7 here and get under that tackle and elude the defender, and it gets that second burst across the first down marker. Heck of a job by Kittle.
They'll stretch it out to the right side. Down to the 31-yard line goes Wadley. Andrew Stelter with the tackle. As we will roll under 10 minutes to go.
Yeah, clock is churning. These are long drives. Iowa's done a nice job, Beth, getting the ball, moving it methodically down the field. Here's the problem. When you get to the red zone and they're creeping into that area, they got to punch it in. Too many field goals right now. 24 plays in the territory. But see that stat, 0 touchdowns? That's got to change.
It's the Floyd of Rosedale game. You got to break out your Saturday best when you show up at the stadium.
Elvis is in the building, Beth.
And right now, Elvis is down a point. His team is anyways. 7-6, Minnesota. 1 touchdown for the Golden Gophers, a pair of field goals for Iowa. Clock running down closer to 9 minutes to go, and it's 3rd and 1 for the Hawkeyes.
O-line getting good push right now. I haven't seen much, really anyone around the line of scrimmage from the defensive line standpoint initially. A lot of tackles at the 2nd and 3rd level late in this game. See if that O-line can get some more push to get this running back across the first down marker.
Ross in the eye in front of Daniels. They're going to play action it. On the rollout, Beathard will slide for the first down at the 25-yard line. Hit by Jacob Huff.
Yeah, he takes a huge shot, and I think he got stuck in between wanting to slide and not actually going down. He's going to take the ball. It's a well-designed play. He's got the first down. He's kind of in between about starting that slide, and he takes a shot at the impact point.
And they will, at least for right now, go to Nathan Stanley, the true freshman backup. Appearing in his 4th game of the season, 1st and 10. Daniels, short gain. Tackled by Nick Rollis, and Beathard is set to return now. Looks like they took the knee brace right off.
And I'll be honest with you, he's always worn a knee brace, and that's from a protection standpoint and a previous injury. That could be something he could be thinking about. You know, that's kind of like you feel a little naked with not having that on his knee when he's playing the quarterback position. Might hinder him from making some runs.
He just shed the hand warmer as well on his way into the huddle.
It's not that cold out, is it, Beth?
Leaving all kinds of stuff behind on this 10th play of the drive. Fumble. on the exchange. Beathard able to jump right back down on it. It's third down.
It just looks like it hits the side of his hand. I'm not quite sure if the ball came flush from the center. Watch the ball go up. Nice shot. Yeah, it looks like he snaps the ball to the right of his rear area there. So that's the hands in the middle. Comes off the outside of his hand, and that's what produces the fumbled snap. Huge play there, too. Knocks him back.
Beathard lofting it up from Mitchell, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Kamal Martin. And the third turnover taken by Minnesota.
That's as impressive as a catch. Folks, this young man, number 49, is a true freshman. Goes up, sees the ball, holds it to his body. Mitchell trying to rake it away from him after he brings it down. I'll tell you what, that's a heck of a job one-on-one guarding that running back.
Anthony, you tell me, it looked like C.J. Beathard was a little hesitant to drive into that throw. There was a defender coming toward that unprotected left knee. I don't know if that was an issue. Maybe psychologically he did not want to step into that throw, and it went short.
Yeah, it definitely went short. If he could have got it over the head, would have taken the defender out of position to make a chance on an interception.
Leidner in trouble. Down he goes at the 19. So a reminder, with this interception, 29 plays run by Iowa in Minnesota territory without a touchdown today.
Yeah, good hands there, bringing it down. Again, he just short arms. Sometimes the quarterback throws the ball and it doesn't come off right, and he's not happy about it. He knows he's made a mistake in that throw, and right now the defense has played so well for Iowa. Minnesota, again, no positive yards on that first down play.
Beathard may get another chance. Leidner dropped. Third down and long. They need to get out to the 31-yard line. Leidner throws it downfield. It's caught by Wolotarski around the 24, but that'll be short. And it's fourth down and a chance for Iowa to get it back with just over 6 minutes to go.
That's the second time they hit that comeback. Just too many yards to overcome. A penalty, 2 minus play yardages, a dropped football by the tight end. It just equates to a poor series for Minnesota.
So frustration just a moment ago from C.J. Beathard after the interception. And he may be right back out there. Punt was not a good one. It will go out of bounds around the Iowa 45-yard line. 30 yards on that punt. 5.5 minutes for the Hawkeyes to work with. The Floyd of Rosedale, a bet between state governors back in 1935, from a real pig to a bronze one. It's on the Iowa sideline right now, but as the score stands, it would go to Minnesota. 5:35 to go. Wadley breaking free. A foot race for the end zone. Touchdown, Hawkeyes. .54 yards for Akram Wadley.
It's just a matter of time, Beth. These backs have been getting closer and closer, and they finally break the big one.
And now they will go for 2 to try to make this a touchdown lead. The junior out of Newark, New Jersey, with the huge play as he goes over 100 yards rushing on the day. That is their longest play of the year, folks, offensively. And it grabs them the lead with 5.5 to go. It's Daniels, the lone setback. They're going to run for it, and they're going to get it. Power football from Iowa, and they lead it 14-7.
That's exactly what it is. Getting tough, getting back to what they normally want to do, downhill running, go for a two-point conversion. I'd say the majority of the teams in the country will probably pass it there, not Iowa. That's what they're born and bred on them. That's what they do.
Rodney Smith is back deep with Keontae Harden. Won't be able to bring it out.
He's going to have to come up big right now. 1st and 15. Unless they get a huge chunk in the run game, he's got to find a way to complete some balls down the field.
I'll go play action. He's looking downfield. Incomplete, intended for Wolotarski. 2nd down.
Yeah, he's really just has not had an opportunity to get on point today, and some of that's on him. Some of that's been on, you know, the way the penalties have pushed them back. But just no flow. Started 3 for 3 in this half, and now he's back to 5 for 10. 9 for 22 for the game is not good enough, and less than 100 yards passing from the 5th-year senior.
Brooks out of the pistol. Leidner stepping up in the pocket, and down he goes. Sacked back at the 15. Anthony Nelson was leading the charge.
Let's watch the coverage here. I mean, you know, Mitch Leidner's trying to find someone open. Receivers are running out. You got coverage on the outside. You got coverage. Receiver trips in the middle, looking for Wolotarski, bending it back in. Just not enough time. Produces a sack. Good job in the coverage for Iowa's defense.
3rd and 19. Leidner looking for some way to run, and there isn't anywhere for him to go. It's 4th down. And the Hawkeyes will force the punt with 4:24 to go, and the clock's a ticking.
And when you get sacked early on, and like that last play, then you start speeding up the process on the next play. And really, there was protection there for him to stand in the pocket, deliver a football. Chooses to run quickly. Nothing there for him.
Santoso. There's Desmond King backpedaling and tripped up at the 32. Guys, Anthony can shut the door right here. They can try and run out the clock with 3:50 to go. Not just for the Floyd of Rosedale trophy and to beat one of your rivals, but a chance to stay in the race in the Big Ten West. Remember, both of these teams have favorable schedules in terms of not having to play the big dogs from the East, the one exception being Iowa, but they are at home for Michigan, and they're also home for Wisconsin and Nebraska the rest of the way.
Yeah, you're right, and this team needs a spark. I mean, like you said, they just haven't been able to find an identity, get back on track, and to be quite honest with you, I don't know if they found an identity today, but they did enough to take the lead in this football game. And they got to find a way to make the 4-minute offense, which is running the football in this part of the game, move the sticks and chains to get 1st down so they can put it away.
And Minnesota not choosing to use the timeout there. Daniels will run it again. So do you go for one here prior to 3rd down?
Yeah. Coach Clay's jump at the referee there to get the timeout. Stops the clock on 3rd down.
Timeout, Minnesota. Their first 30-second timeout.
They will have 2 left.
Wouldn't be surprised if you got C.J. Beathard rolling out to the 2-receiver side, trying to catch something towards the sidelines in this 3rd down opportunity.
Beathard flushed out. Off the pump fake, he tries to leap over the defensive back. He's knocked out of bounds and stops the clock with 2:54 to go.
Yeah, I don't know if he realized how far away that leap would have had to be. Some Superman-ish skills, and he does. He gives Minnesota a break here. Again, he thinks he's a little closer than he is. Myrick, number 5, and 56 Rawless are right there. I mean, there's nowhere to jump. They're not even getting low. Those are 2 players standing in front of you, and again, the clock stops with.
Yeah, you see the reaction from some of his teammates on the sideline. They just saved Minnesota a timeout. But the bigger issue for the Gophers is they have not been able to move the football save for 1 possession today. Can Mitch Leidner change that with 2:39 to go? Leidner, another dropped ball and a missed opportunity. That's Rashad Still.
And there you go. Perfect opportunity.
Yep.
You run a quick hitch, perfectly thrown, you got off coverage, and you drop the football. Those are the things that mess with your quarterback a little bit. You know, you got number 88 Still, hasn't played in a couple games. He comes in today, and he has an opportunity and drops the ball for his quarterback.
Against a 4-man rush, Leidner picked off. Brandon Snyder's got it. And Iowa gets the ball back with 2:30 to go.
Yeah, there's nobody home there, Beth. There's a safety. The receiver's covered by a corner. The safety is just sitting there waiting for him. Watch, Snyder's just sitting there waiting. He turns around. I mean, the receiver wasn't even ready for the ball because there was 2 defenders there. Mitch Leidner going to him, not really having a plan when he got the ball in his hand, just kind of eyeballed that area, and that was just an easy interception for the Iowa defense.
3rd turnover forced by the Hawkeyes today. And now Minnesota with just 2 timeouts. Neither side has been able to capitalize much on the takeaways. But it's Akram Wadley with the 54-yard touchdown run. That's the difference in this ball game. Good penetration from Travis to get into the backfield to upend Daniels.
Timeout, Minnesota. Their second.
Minnesota will have
30-second
one timeout left. Wadley down to the 45.
That was close. Celestine,
Yep.
He saved the day right there with a heck of a tackle. Wadley was feeling that. He almost got to the outside there, and Celestine's had a very, very nice day today.
Timeout, Minnesota.
That's the final
Their third and
timeout
final
for
timeout of the
Minnesota.
half. 30-second timeout.
Just gets his leg, and that could have been a difference maker there.
Well, the story of this one certainly has been the Iowa defense today. 9 possessions where it's been 3 plays or less for Minnesota. They've also forced 3 turnovers. 3rd and 11. Beathard, no intention of throwing it. He'll be taken down back in Iowa territory at the 48-yard line. And the clock will roll until the punt. They'll run off another 32 seconds here.
Yeah, they'll get it down about 1:30. They'll call timeout themselves, take the penalty to move them back a little more to kick, but I think they've got plenty of space here. And
that's what they're playing for, the Floyd of Rosedale. Well, one consideration is we are down under 2 minutes. They've been playing this game since 1891, and according to their stat sheets, there has never been an overtime game in the series. .126 with no timeouts. The crossing route underneath. Wolotarski will step out of bounds at the 28. 16 yards and a first down.
That's a good start. That's a great start. You have Desmond King, who is now moving around, following number 82, Wolotarski. That's the guy they feel like they have to shut down, and these other receivers can't win.
Leidner looking out to the edge again. Incomplete. No, they're going to say he did catch it. And now say he was out of bounds. So some miscommunication there initially by the officials.
That ball's tight to the sidelines. Yeah. Looks like simultaneously.
Oh, the right foot got down before the left.
I would say that.
The previous play is under further review. The ruling on the field is that the pass was incomplete.
Now the question is, does he have the ball secured? So right, looks like he has the ball secured there.
That's in.
The foot goes down. Good call, Beth. Good eyes.
Does he maintain it through the catch?
And that'll be the last part of it as we run it through. Falls to the ground. Oh, no.
After review, the receiver had control with a foot down. It is a catch. It's going to be first down Minnesota at the 49-yard line.
That was tremendous footwork by Rashad Still. Knowing that the left foot was going to be out of bounds, he tapped with the right first.
Again, every first down moving forward, Beth, to me, you got to spike it. Don't even mess around trying to rush to the line of scrimmage when you get the change and sticks moving. Even though the clock stops before the chains get set, you can still save a lot of time by doing that.
21 yards on that completion. 1st and 10. Leidner to the sideline again, and another catch is made and then stripped out of bounds. They're going to say incomplete. Back to Still again.
Well, did he control it, make a move, and then get stripped? I think they're talking about that right now, but he does.
Yeah, is it a catch and a fumble?
I tell you, he makes a good job adjusting. He's on the other side of the DB.
That's catch and fumble.
That's.
What do you think?
That was close. You got to make a football move.
After review, the receiver had completed the process of the catch, at which point the ball came loose and went out of bounds. It will be first down for Minnesota at the 36-yard line. The clock will start on the snap.
So both reversals favor Minnesota, with Rashad Still making catches over Greg Maben.
And let's get to the line of scrimmage. He's just said the clock's going to start when the ball gets set. Once the referees get lined up, need to get ready to snap this ball right away.
Wolotarski in motion. Clock will start on the snap. Leidner. Incomplete. Another opportunity for a catch there. Wolotarski couldn't hang on. 1:06 to go.
Got to make plays. Got to help your quarterback who's had a down day. You got to catch the football as your receiver. Dropped a few balls earlier today as a group. Made some nice catches. Helped them out here in the last few.
Leidner looking to the edge, and climbing up to catch it is Brian Smith. And he's got it at the 18-yard line. Check that, down to the 13-yard line.
And he gets out of bounds. He's 6'4", folks. He goes up high. That's the perfect spot for him to catch the ball. Watch as he goes up high. He's just so much bigger than the defensive back there, Jackson.
And I was the nickel right there. Normally Desmond King, who always lines up to the defensive right, would have been covering. He wasn't on that play.
Leidner rolls. Are going to throw back for Brooks, incomplete. Desmond King was sneaking up there.
You're not going to fool Desmond King with that roll to the right, and he's just going to run across the field. That's not him. He's just way too smart. That's why he's the Jim Thorpe Award winner last year. Best DB in the land. And he's had a good game today.
Leidner on this drive, 4 of 6 for 75 yards. They have had 2 reversals upon review, 4 completions.
He's been on point. He's put the ball where it needs to be.
Leidner to the end zone, overthrows Wolotarski. 3rd down.
Yeah, double coverage there. And it looks like he's really, speeding the process up. It's good protection. Just needs to hang in there. They need someone to break free. They need someone to get open. The middle of the field is not where they've gone so far in this drive. And in order for them to make this play and get it to the end zone, they're going to have to find someone to get in those open areas between the hashes.
Iowa backs off the pressure against the four-man rush. It's going to be 4th down, incomplete, looking for Smith. Can Iowa keep Floyd? They're up a touchdown, 48 seconds to go. No timeouts left for Minnesota, and they are facing a 4th and 15. They can get a 1st down inside the 3-yard line.
Listen, this is a red zone opportunity. Forget about 4th and 15. From the 19, 18-yard line, you got about 3 or 4 plays that you can run against a defense. Number 88, he's 6'5", folks. And then you got Mr. Smith, he's 6'4". You got to find a way to get the ball up high, and they got to go make a play.
King is defending on still. Leidner's going to go the other way to the end zone for Brian Smith. Incomplete. Broken up by Maben. And the Hawkeyes hold on with 43 seconds to go.
Nice job by Maben. Never got his head around either. But again, he's tracking eyes, tracking hands. We knew he was going to go to the big receiver on the outside. Got a lot of space out there. He does get his eyes around. Honestly, it's a poorly thrown ball. It's underthrown. Brian Smith has no opportunity to go up high. Mitch has just got to get that ball a little higher and give his big receiver a chance. You've made him small once you underthrow it, Beth, and it's really just no chance for the receiver to make a play.
Iowa Hawkeyes trailing early in this 4th quarter. They get the huge touchdown run from Akram Wadley, and then a 2-point conversion. And another big stand by their defense down in the red zone.
You know, they were able to produce turnovers, Minnesota was. They couldn't come back and get really any offense triggered off those turnovers. Iowa's defense stood up, played hard, done a nice job. And offensively, just off track for most of this game.
And they will not have to snap it again. And Floyd of Rosedale will be returning to Iowa City, where the Hawkeyes won them last year. And they will win it 14-7 as they get the defensive stand on Minnesota and a big Akram Wadley 4th quarter touchdown run. And there they go for Floyd of Rosedale. College football scoreboard presented by Honda is coming up next, followed by either BYU Michigan State or Virginia Tech North Carolina. Check your local listings. 14-7. Iowa beats Minnesota. Let's get you back now to the studio.